Hi, how are you doing? I would love to teach you weighted average in the simplest way possible. Let's take an example of ninth grade. Let's say the way the people get their final GPA or final scores is based on the final exam. But there's also an assignment in the middle of the year, but this one is not considered for the final GPA. So we have two components. So we have assignment and final exam. The teacher realizes that because the assignment has no impact on the GPA, people are not taking it seriously. And so he would like the students to also focus on the assignment. And therefore, he declares that it's not just the final exam that is considered for GPA, but also the assignment. So let's consider an example of a student, Alex. Alex cracks the code. You know, Alex realizes that the final exam involves you studying the entire year's syllabus and then sitting in a room where you're being monitored and then you have to score there. Whereas for an assignment, it's only the first half of the year and no one's monitoring you. So you could, let's say, take help from outside. So Alex strategizes that if I could score as high as possible in the assignment, I would see a bump in my GPA and I would get a better score. So Alex implements that. So in the assignment, Alex gets 90 out of 100. And in the end of the year, Alex gets 70 out of 100. Now, in the older system, his 70 would have been considered for GPA. It would have been like, yeah, whatever kind of GPA. But now that even assignment is considered, we calculate the average to arrive at the final score. So that would be 90 plus 70 by 2. If you calculate this, that would be 80. So Alex just had a 10-point bump in his final score, and Alex won. The thing is that teacher realized that people are taking advantage of this assignment situation. So the teacher decides to do something about it. Teacher says that while I want the assignment to still be considered, I don't want it to have so much impact on the final GPA. I still want the final exam to be the king and an assignment to be a minor portion. So the teacher decides that the final exam should get 75% of the weightage and the assignment should get 25% of the weightage. This way, assignment is not having too much impact, but it's also not zero impact. Let's first start with this. Let's expand upon what's going on over here. You see that it's 90 plus 70 by 2. So you could do 90 by 2 would imply 70 by 2. You could also write this as, because 1 by 2 is 0.5, you could say 0.5 into 90. That's 0.5 into 70. What is happening here essentially is these are the weights. These are the numbers that signify their importance. In this scenario, the assignment and final exam are given equal importance. Therefore, it is 0.5, 0.5. In other words, it's 50-50, 50% this, 50% final exam. In the new scenario, the final exam should have 75%. So this would become 0.25. The assignment should get 25% of the weightage plus 0.75 into 70. The final exam gets set. This is the weighted average. These are the weights, and we tweak them to adjust for the importance. Now, you also have to keep in mind another key point, which is that if you observe that in these two scenarios, when you add these up, the answer is 1. So if you add this up, the answer is 1. You also realize that whatever this part is, the denominator 1 also exists. Because it's just 1, we don't write it. Turns out the denominator should be whatever is the sum of these weights. Because in these scenarios, the sum is 1, we don't bother putting them there. But there are scenarios where the weights do not add up to 1. So let's take any random example, 0.6 into 90 plus 1.4 into, I don't know, 50. It's a completely different thing. In this case, the denominator should be the sum of the weights. So 1.4 plus 0.6, that would be 2. So this is weighted average. Well, I hope I was able to help you understand the concept of weighted average. I hope I didn't confuse you too much. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Consider subscribing. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.